Have you ever felt forgotten, felt overlooked, felt like no one could see you? I know I felt like that before. I'm really excited to talk about this week 5, Not Forgotten. It brings me to my sophomore year of high school. I was going out for the basketball team, and I'd just come off of what I thought was a strong freshman year campaign. I was a starter. I was like having a good season my freshman year. My sophomore year comes around. I go to talk to the coaches, and I'm thinking I had secured a spot on the junior varsity. I was going to be a starter. I was going to be starting shooting guard because I could shoot the 3 like pretty good.
And that's shooting guard.
Back then, I thought I had a good jumper. And I go to talk to the coaches, and the coaches, they give me a question. They say, Shaddye, would you rather play on the junior varsity and not get any minutes, or play on the C team with the freshmen and get all the minutes in the world? What choice do you think I went with?
A or B?
I was a stubborn sophomore, and I definitely chose to play on the JV and get no minutes. In my head, I was like, you know what? Even though I feel overlooked, even though I feel like they don't really see my talent, they don't really see my gift, I am going to show them. You better believe that year happened, and he was right. I barely got any minutes that whole year. I felt overlooked. I would be on the bench just thinking, like, I would always be the guy that's just looking at the coaches like, man, you see me here? Like, are you gonna put me in the game? I would be perfect for this moment, but I never got in the game because I felt forgotten.
You see me?
I don't know about you, but have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like there was a moment where maybe you were the right person for something? Maybe it was a job. Maybe it was an opportunity with a friend. Maybe it was being invited to a trip, being invited to a friend's house, whatever it might have been. I feel like we've all been there before where we felt forgotten. Can I tell you that there's people in the Bible that we look up to today who actually went through this same thing as well? It makes me think of the person that was very, very popular in the Old Testament, who actually Jesus is in the line of his family, and that person is David. David the king, King David, was actually someone who was once forgotten. And he was forgotten when he was actually a young teenager, and he was the person that tended his family's sheep. He was a person that looked after the flock. And there was a day where this guy named Samuel came, and God had told Samuel, hey, I have no longer anointed Saul as king, for I have not chosen him anymore. I've chosen somebody else.
Not you.
And Samuel was afraid that if he went to go anoint someone else as king while Saul was still king, that Saul would want to kill him. And so he goes to the house of Jesse where God tells him to go, and he kind of goes in secret. Can I tell you this? That a lot of times we feel like God isn't working on our behalf because we can't see what he's doing. We feel forgotten. God is working on your behalf in secret. Just because you can't see it every day, just because you can't feel it every moment, just because you can't always put your finger on it, can I tell you today that God is working on your behalf? And sometimes God working on your behalf is in secret.
In secret. Why secret?
And so Samuel comes in secret to come and find David. And as he gets to the house of Jesse, Jesse brings all of his sons to this moment in 1 Samuel 16. And guess who's not there? David. And Samuel, as the Bible says, that he sees the sons of Jesse, and he's trying to find which son of Jesse's is going to be the next king. And in 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 6, it says, when they arrived, Samuel took one look at Eliab and thought, here he is, God's anointed. But God told Samuel, looks aren't everything. Don't be impressed with his looks and stature. I've already eliminated him.
That's a no.
And it goes on, and he's going through every son. And God keeps saying no. And he makes it clear that we as human beings, we look on the outside, but God looks on heart. God looks at what's in secret.
Heart.
Can I tell you today that do not be afraid if you feel like you don't look like you're the right part, you don't feel like you're the right part, you don't feel like you fit in with everybody, you feel overlooked. Can I tell you, God doesn't look on the outside, God looks on the inside. And it goes on to say, then he asked Jesse, is this it? Are these all the sons you have? And he says, well, yeah, but there's the run, but he's out there tending sheep. And Jesse told him to go and get him and bring him over. And when he brought him over, he was bright-eyed, the very picture of health. And God said, up on your feet, anoint him. This is the one.
He is the one.
In that moment, Samuel had an opportunity to anoint David to be king, even though he was overlooked by his own family. Maybe you've been in a spot where you feel overlooked by your parents. You feel like in the midst of your siblings, and look at your sister, you look at your brother, you look at your family members, and you feel like you're overlooked.
Yeah, so no one would see me.
Can I tell you, God even doesn't look at us the way our parents look at us. God looks at us through the eyes of his love. And can I tell you today that David ended up becoming king, but it took 14 plus years. It took him a long time to become king.
These things take time.
And so even in those moments where we feel like, yeah, I don't feel forgotten anymore, can I tell you that those moments might come again? That you better believe that David later in his life, even when he was waiting to become king, might have felt like God overlooked him, might have felt like God had forgotten about him. But God stayed true to his promise. David ended up becoming king because God did not forget him. And can I encourage you today that you are not forgotten?